So after that, and I didn't realize this either until decided, you know what, let me go ahead and catch up on it. I've seen all your features, but I hadn't seen Sweet Revenge and didn't even know that was a thing, and thought that was kind of cool. And that had to be kind of, I don't know, like, so that has to be something really interesting for a Friday the 13th thing to come to you to do the first one. That's got to be kind of, assuming that that's how it happened. Before I say that, like,
Yep.
that's got to be kind of interesting, right?
Yep. I mean, and that, for that story is its own thing. It's so I was actually shooting a movie in Colombia. This movie that's going to be coming out later this year called Boyuna, Legend of the Amazon, and so I was down there shooting that, and then I got introduced to this Jason universe from Judson Scott and Ryan Turek over at Atomic Monster and Blumhouse, and they were like, "Hey, Sherry, who's Sherry Khan? She oversees Jason Universe with the Barsamians," and she was like, he goes, "Hey, Sherry, meet Mike Nelson. Mike is really great with genre, and this might be something that he finds interesting." I'm like, "Find what interested?" And then when Sherry pitched it to me that they were doing something in conjunction with Angry Orchard and that they wanted to make this basically a short film, bringing back Jason, after 16 years for their 45th anniversary or whatever of Friday the 13th, I was like, oh my God. So yeah, this sounds really cool. And so, yeah, they went out to a few directors and I pitched just like they did, and they liked my take. And like I said, we were shooting in Colombia. We were on overnights. It was insane. And so I remember coming back from an overnight, sleeping for 4 hours, taking this call with them, hearing them out, then shooting for another couple of weeks. And while I was shooting for those couple of weeks out in the jungle, thinking about what this Jason idea could be, pitching them this Jason idea while I was in Colombia. And then when we were done shooting, coming back to the States and then hearing that they wanted to go with it. Crazy. Like I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, this is insane. And from there on, I wrote a short script for it and assembled a team. So it was a whirlwind. The year was crazy. Like, you start at the end of 2024 into 2025 with Boyuna, and then you get the Jason project, knowing full well you're not going to shoot it till summer. But then we end up shooting Silent Night, Deadly Night. And then right when I got off Silent Night, Deadly Night, I came home, and a week or 2 weeks later, I ended up shooting the Jason thing.
Jesus.
And then all three of those projects all ended up locking their edit the same week.
That's
So
nuts.
it was just a wild experience. And again, would I do that again? Maybe not. It was very, but again, it's one of those, like, you look back, you're like, wow, those are great times, weren't they? You're juggling three movies. Like, who gets to say that?
That's pretty impressive, though. I mean, how do you do that? Like, as far as, we come from the domestics, which takes some time to make. You do from the Wrong Turn one. Suddenly, you're having three projects to juggle. Going in and out of those different mindsets has to be kind of not stressful, but I guess tricky, I should say.
Yeah, it is, because you are trying to keep everything straight. The thing is as long as as long as you know what you're going for with each one, each one's. It's about vision, man. Like, you just have to, as long as you have the vision for each one and what each one needs to be. Sure, there's always discoveries along the way especially when you're in post and you're starting to understand what the story is turning into. That's its own battle. It's its own monster. But it wasn't as hard to jump between the three as much as I thought. I think it was more just there's just not a lot of time, and you feel like you're constantly doing stuff and there's no downtime. In terms of jumping between the projects, though, like, I don't remember that being as difficult because I just knew what each one was. I think as long as that was the case, we were going to be okay. Because if you look tonally at all three of those movies, tonally, none of them are the same. Like, when you see Boyuna, it is like a harsh, really grounded, dark survival, like thriller, drama, horror. Like it's just, and of course, Silent Night is kind of this zany, romantic, supernatural horror slasher. And then you get thrown into Sweet Revenge, which is just, it's a straight up like homage to Friday the 13th 4 and 7. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that honestly, like that's what it was. Like those two movies smashed together is what Sweet Revenge is, in my opinion. So yeah,